Sheffield Wednesday versus Oxford United need 3 points at home, clearly. Hi guys, and welcome to this video. You could like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I much appreciate it. Liking helps the algorithm, sharing gets in front of people's faces, and subscribing lets me know you like the channel. Hit that notification bell to let yourself know when videos go live or live stream happen. Live stream will be coming back eventually. I'm just probably going to do one just before the Christmas time, and then we'll go from there. Talking Wednesday podcast is out every Tuesday at 5 p.m. At the moment, we're just getting our backlog ready for Christmas. So we've got stuff over Christmas. And also, please leave us reviews on Spotify, Podbean, all those places, Apple Podcasts. Just so we know that you like the podcast, it does help us. It gets us into the algorithm a little bit more. So, Sheffield Wednesday are going into this game needing a win. It's been some tasty results of late. If you go to Talking Wednesday Twitter account, there's some good stats on there for you to have a look at. That have been posted before the game. But the big news in this one is the starting lineup. Now, we're all sweating on Barry Bannon, so there is no Barry Bannon, but there is a shock to the lineup. Sheffield Wednesday go with Dawson in net. So, Stockdale hasn't been dropped. Dawson got his chance to prove himself. So, it's Dawson, Palmer, Iorfa, McGuinness, James, Johnson, Backington, Folks, Patterson, Windass, Gregory. I wonder if that's going to be Patterson and Gregory up top with Windass behind. I'm not sure. Backington and Volks makes sense to me. With Stockdale on the bench, Hunt, Femiwo, Deli Bashiru, Myton, Wilkes, and Smith. Very surprised to see Smith dropped as well. The team new for Oxford is Eastwood, Anderson, Long, Findlay, Brown, Bate, McEwen, Brannigan, Brown, Taylor, Bowden, the Benson, McGinn, Mashuru, Henry, Murphy, Walshus, Shedden, and O'Connor. So it'll be interesting watching this and seeing Dawson get the nod is an interesting aspect because there've been talk as late that maybe he might get a chance soon. There've been things saying about how fans are saying at times Stockdale's not really done us any favours in terms of how he's played in net. It's interesting. And it was an interesting one because there was a tweet this morning, or it was either a tweet or an Instagram post, I can't remember which basically said that I'll come back from this. It's one of those one where it's like, great determination, you have to build yourself back up kind of tweet. And it was interesting that that's what he said. So it was already indicating that he's already been dropped for this game. Now, Barry Bannon, it looking like with Barry Bannon right now, he's going to be back for the next game. The Fleetwood game. We'll see what happens with that because at the minute their game's been called off today with a frozen pitch. You never know what happens there. It might be another case of that, so we might not have a Boxing Day game. We'll see. But it'll be interesting to see what happens in this game because it's a bold call. He's been doing well in terms of the stats. If you look at it, 11 clean sheets this season for Stockdale. So it'll be interesting to see what the change is here. It'll be good for Dawson to get a run of games as well. So let's see what happens in this game today. I am not going to lie. That first half was horrible. It was dreadful. It was just a really bad game of football. What's going on Wednesday? There's no possession. There's no trying to look like we want it. The atmosphere at the ground is poor. I can understand why. It's cold. It's not great football. There's not that usual buzz around it. It's really flat. We have some okay chances, but it's all Oxford. And a lot of it been us gifting them the ball from possession. What is going on with this team in midfield? The ball seems to go away. If we're looking at getting attacks going forward, we're playing it back to go forward again. Yes, that does work. Cam Dawson's had a really good half, to be fair. Made some really crucial saves because they had their chances and hadn't taken them. If they have, we could have been down by a couple of goals here. Oxford look well. They're pressing forward. They're looking good. I will admit, the referee's been horrible. He's been rubbish. But at the same time, the referee's not the person who's going to change the game. The person who's going to change the game for us is us ourselves. And we've been poor. Just been really poor. We had 3 chances in the first half in the box. Backinson's shot blocked. Then Patterson's shot blocked. Windass had a shot and that didn't really happen. Johnson had a daisy cutter, didn't really come to anything. We're losing the ball left, right and centre. The referee isn't letting the game flow, I will admit. That is a sore point. He's not letting the game flow at all. But at the same time, we need to be more on it, and we're not. Palmer going down that wing well, so Johnson at times, but it's leaving us open at the times, especially on the right with Marvin Johnson, because James is having to do a lot of defensive work. Excuse me. You're looking at where we're going to change it, and you're looking at bench. You've got Smith who could come on, who's probably definitely going to come on. Myton, Wilkes. Someone needs to go in there and control that midfield. Maybe a Deli Bashiru just to go and run at players, because we're not doing that. We're trying to find a cute little passer, but it's not working. Otford had come here with a game plan. It seemed to be working. Get us on the counter. Get in behind our man. We are looking dreadful. No communication either at times. Need to improve in the second half, because that was a very poor first half for me. When they need to wake up a little bit, start regrouping, refresh it, and see what happens. Yeah, we know Barry Bannon is the player that makes everything tick, but there need to be... Normally, if Barry Bannon wasn't playing, you would have a Byers who would step up, but we don't have a Byers. We're the 3rd and 4th player who can step into those 2-player roles to make it tick. Maybe put Bolks a little bit further forward. I don't know, but something needs to change. Deli Bashiru probably going to come on and change the game a little bit for me, possibly with a Smith. But if you're going to bring Smith on, play to his strength, for God's sake. I would have said play Patterson next to Gregory and put Windass in that 10 role and do that. Do something, because this isn't working. God knows what the formation is, because it just seems to be changing a lot to try and counter what they're doing. But at half-time, it's 0-0, but it's dreadful football. And the problem is, with it being 0-0 at half-time, you're looking at other results and you're hoping that they're not going against us. Second half, we needed to turn it up a little bit, play a little bit better. We do, but it's still a little bit poor at times, giving the ball away. Them trying to get forward. And you're like, come on, we need to change this up. We need to get something here. Trying to get things all sorted. And you know what I mean? It was a game where you're looking, if we get a chance, we might nick it. Because that's how it felt. It was that kind of game. Otford, for me, really did outplay us. We struggled in that midfield a lot. It did change, though, when Windass went off and Smith came on and Volks went off and Deli came on. Deli Bashiru came on and did an absolute blinder of a game, running forward, attacking. But the problem is, when he gets to that final third, his decision-making is just not there yet. And that's the problem with him being 21. His decision-making is nowhere near where it should be yet. The bit where you're thinking, get that to a player in the middle and then they could go. And he's trying to go for the world. He's trying to go for the shot. And it's just not there in his game as such. But we kept on knocking on the door. Smith had a glorious chance. Ball great from Johnson. Yeah, it goes in. And it's the balls I've been saying. Play it into Smith. He'll get on the end of it. Just doesn't get there in time. He's inches off getting it. But they have a great chance up the other end. They had a really good chance. Good shot. It's saved by Dawson. He parried it out to a Oxford United player. The player then had the shot come to him. It cleared off the line by McGuinness, and then they put it over the bar. Very similar to how we had our 3 chances in the first half. The problem is, we kept on losing the ball. And you're like, Patterson had a really good chance as well. Patterson had a good chance and it's saved. Deli tried to do it again. And we're having the chance, but nothing really paying off. Smith has a chance from a cross. Again, it's a cross, which is what you wanted to see from Smith. If you get crosses, then he'll make their goal for it. But just not enough on the end of it today. And the big issue is right near the end, the 6 minutes is out of time. If you go back and forth, and it's an excellent game if you're neutral. If you've been given the ticket to this game as a neutral, it's back and forth, it's been quite good. in that sense. But right near the end, we give away a very sloppy penalty. We pull the man down. It's a definite penalty. No one can say it wasn't. He did pull him down. And you're thinking, oh, God, here we go. This is going to be it. Dawson come in, had a pretty good game, to be fair. Like, and now he's going to have this problem with his critics hitting him, saying, yo, he should have done better from that. He saved the penalty. It's an absolute great penalty save. Palmer gets it forward, and we go on a break right near the end. This is like 95th minutes and the 6 minutes out of time. We go on the break, we win a corner, but then it comes to nothing. In the end, it's 0-0. We are very lucky to get 0-0 as well. Let me just say that right now. I think we are extremely lucky to get 0-0 in this game. In terms of matches today, let's have a look at results. Barnsley won 2-0, so they're creeping. Bolton won 2-0 and creeping. Derby beat Forest Green 4-0. Plymouth won 2-1. MK Dons getting a win to make it 2-0. They could get themselves out of it. Wickham beat Ipswich Town 1-0. So at the moment, the table looks like this. It's Plymouth back on top for Christmas with 47 points. Ipswich on 45. Wednesday on 43. Barnsley on 36. Bolton 35. Derby 34. That gap between us lot is starting to creep. And we need to start getting 3 points on the board, not just one. 43 points. We're dipping here. This is not the time to be dipping, lads. We need to be really going after the other two. You get a win here. It's a completely different story. Cameron Dawson, man of the match, easily. Really played a good game. Not over Stockdale. And what I loved was at full time, Stockdale go running over to Cam Dawson. And it's that kind of goalkeeper union respect thing. It is a shame not to get 3 points, but it would dire football from us at home. We need to find a way of unlocking this. Darren Moore saying we don't need strikers. Show me that we don't need strikers then. Get these strikers scoring. Maybe we need another creative player apart from Bannon and Bayer back. Maybe then coming back are going to be what unlock this team again. But again, it's the two players that we're missing and then we can't get anything. We need to have the next... If Barry Bannon and Bayers didn't play, we need the third and fourth player to step up. You're thinking like a Volk. You're thinking about a Windass. Windass wasn't great today. It's a poor game. It's a poor result in terms of trying to catch up on the teams above us. But we'll take a draw. We'll take the draw because it means we've still got points there. But teams are starting to catch in. And those two at the top will start to have a break away if we're not careful. They're still looking at finding a way to win ugly. It's a 0-0 result. We'll see what happens for the game on Boxing Day. With their game being postponed today and with more icy weather coming, it could be another postponement on the Boxing Day, but we will see. But in the end, it's 0-0 and a point gained from when we really could have really lost this today.